takes bravery to do that, but again, we're happy to be here and celebrate with him. I mean, for me personally, it was quite a experience myself, you know. Going through FALONE style. Traditional wedding day, she was probably 2 hours late for her wedding, and I thought I'll mention that because I've never experienced. Maybe skip next time, but it was very enjoyable nevertheless. And one thing I can say about Congolese people, they know how to dance and they know how to party. From the start to the end, there was music busy being played, and everybody danced and kept the spirit alive. So that was definitely one or two standout points. Not to keep you too much longer, just to know when it comes to weddings, just as a side note to add, I'm probably maybe the best person, but also probably the worst person to ask, because with weddings I get very emotional for weddings. Especially because one thing that I wanted to mention about the two families that I admire a lot is that if you get to know these families, I know I spent maybe, let's call it 2 days with the Hildens. And then obviously with talking too long here, I feel like, yeah, before I talk too long, I think we're going to move very swiftly into kind of praying. There's a few house rules, not too many. If you're not going to quit tonight, there's a gravel section over there, and you can kind of enjoy a cigarette. that I'm very proud of you. And you know, I know with your dad not being around now as well, you've kind of stepped up to even walk your sister down the aisle as well. And it takes a man to do something like that. And I think it's a man that needs to do that in your tradition. So well done for doing that. And I want you to know that, you know, life's not easy. Life gives us a lot of challenges and heartaches. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you and proud of the man that you're becoming. And even with Priska, you know, what I wanted to add with Priska is that I'm too, like, very proud of you as well. And I think you're very inspirational. And I think even to kind of touch on your relationship with your sister, it may be like, I may be kind of saying it in part. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. But I mean, even when I look at FALONE, I was probably going to keep this for later, but I might as well just touch on it now. But these two ladies now, they're not girls anymore, they're ladies. I admire you two very much. And I think even, I'll touch on FALONE actually later, because obviously you're going to do your own speech. But FALONE has sacrificed a lot for her siblings. And I think a lot of FALONE's sacrifices have bared a lot of fruit. And I think Priska is part of the fruit that FALONE sacrifice. Well, obviously Sylvie as well. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you're not here, Sylvie. But I haven't forgotten about you. Obviously, most of it is you, because you have to keep Johnny and Enoch in check, as naughty as they are. So I haven't forgotten about you, and we honor you as the mother, and even raising.
Come on, Maggie.
I mean, what I wanted to say is that I can only imagine, Sylvia, I can only imagine what you've been through as a mother. Having big children or even teenagers to raise without Ben. And I can only imagine what you've been through. And I want to honor you as the mother and say, well done. You've raised 4 amazing children.
Mama! Mama!
Yeah, you've raised 4 amazing children. And I'm very privileged to call these guys friends and family as well. And it's because of yourself and obviously Ben as well. So well done. But yeah, I was just saying, not to chat on long, but Priska, I'm very proud of you. You actually remind me of my wife. Beautiful, intelligent, and
Strong-willed.
and yeah, that too. But I think that yeah, you have a lot to offer, and the journey ahead looks very bright. And I look forward to hear what you have to say, because it's going to tell me whether I was right or wrong with what I thought of it. But over to Enoch, everybody, first.
Thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you for everyone for coming out, friends, family, and I just want to say we love you. And tonight I want to focus on FALONE because, like Gary said, she sacrificed a lot for us. And even before my dad passed, she was always like the father in the family. Like, she would keep us in line. She would make sure that my dad didn't have to give us a look. She would take care of any stressful business that my dad had. But especially after my dad passed, I think FALONE took on a mantle. And even despite that, she was still able to make sure she take care of us and maybe put a little bit of life on pause to take care of each and every one of us. And now I just want to say that, like, she has an opportunity to, like, let go.
Okay, so my relationship with my sister is a beautiful one. I'm very blessed to have her. I think I owe who I am today to who she is. She was a perfect example of how a woman should be as an individual. She never compared herself to anyone, and for a long time I feel like that was a struggle for her, feeling like she had to explain who she was, because she was always misunderstood and judged. but deep down and inside, she's the most beautiful. Well, even on the outside, I mean, come on. She's the most beautiful person I know. Like Enoch also said, she sacrificed so much for this family, like a lot that no one would even know, because she never tells anyone how much she does. Just the story that stands out for me in her life was when she lived in Joburg. She came home from work, and there was a delivery guy that was delivering something in the complex where she was staying. And this guy ran out of petrol or something, and he was just really struggling because the house where he had to deliver these things, like, just a long story, and this guy needed money for petrol. So as she came home from work, she saw this guy, and she was like, something just told her to give him what she had, and it was her very last. And like you heard, her last means our last as a family. So it wasn't just a small moment, but she didn't hesitate, and she just gave this man her very last. And that's the type of person she is. She doesn't need to know you or like you, but she'll always go out of her way to make sure that the people around her are looked after and cared for. So I'm very happy to be standing here celebrating her and Carl's union, because I know that Carl's someone who's strong enough, firstly, to deal with who she is. He's a man that showed her so much love. And by the way, Carl was the only man that she's ever dated that I approved of, ever. Anytime she would tell me, oh, I'm seeing this guy, I'm like, no. No. But with Carl, like, it was so easy. Even without meeting him, I just knew the way he loved her and took care of her. He always put her first, made sure she was well. And when I met Carl, we just got on so well. And then my mom was like, you and Carl like the same person. I was like, that's why. Explains why I really I approved of Carl. But to you guys, I just pray that God will continue to strengthen you and grow you and keep you closer than ever. And even when things don't look like they're working out the way you want them to, just hold each other closely, look each other in the eyes, and tell each other how much you love each other and put God first. Amen.
Next up, we have from the Hilden family. I'm going to invite actually 4 people up. Rex, Sherry, Autumn, Kayla. Yes, I remembered.
Oh boy. I don't think there's
So before I hand over, you know, I don't know if you guys know of the drink Old Brown Sherry, but you remind me of Old Brown Sherry. And I don't know if you guys know about Old Brown Sherry, but usually when you go to a guest house or to a hotel or whatever, there's always Old Brown Sherry sitting on the table there that you down before you settle in. But that Old Brown Sherry usually hits you hard in the heart and hits you in the stomach, but it warms you up inside. And I think that's you. People who come across you, or your personality tends to kind of warm people up inside. And I've only known you for 2 days, I think, now, and I already got that impression. So hopefully that's true. We'll hear once you read the yellow pages. And then Rex as well. I remember chatting to Rex, probably the easiest conversation I ever had.
I tell her that all the time. She's a warrior, and she belongs with warrior women. We are strong. First, I just wanted to thank everybody for being here. It's a little difficult, I think, for Kyle right now because he has basically a handful of people. And he said that after our traditional, let me say it correctly, I'm kind of nervous, Lobola ceremony. Afterwards, I was surprised because I didn't have to really do anything but sit and smile. And he said, thank you, Mom, just coming so far away. I felt like I had someone in my corner. And he does love all of you very much, but I think just having some blood, you know, there meant a lot. Also, like I said, for our family, it is hard. I'm so happy for all of you. But I know Sylvie's church family, like, welcomed us right in. And now we feel like we have family here. So it was a little nerve-wracking, but now this is who I'm looking at. And Kayla told me that we get nervous, look at one person, and I said, where's Pastor Craig? So I'm just gonna go ahead and start, and I just wanted to thank everybody for coming and celebrating with us and our son. As I said, I was so nervous when Kyle invited me to give a speech because I didn't really know what to say. Then I realized my American nasally accent. Nobody would probably understand what I was saying anyway. So I remember the first time that I met Kyle face to face. It was a bit awkward because he was naked. And I looked a mess because I just gave birth. So, but seriously, I remember the moment as if it was yesterday. I was only, 24 years old, and I can still feel the warmth of his little body as the doctor put him up on my chest. And then he mustered up all the strength his little self had and looked me square in one eye, and it was just like this. And right then and there, in that moment, was the first time in my life that I truly understood what the word awe meant. And I was awestruck. 34 years later, and I still can't find the words to describe that moment. I think every mother sitting here knows what I'm talking about. It never goes away. That tiny little human being became my everything, my heart, my soul, and my purpose for living. Kyle was always a loving and kind child with an advanced sense of humor. He did very well in school. Here's where I get to brag. His winning multiple awards for science, math, and technology. He won a speech competition and a geography, which I know that's what his love of traveling around the world. He loved that at a very young age. Kyle continued to make me proud after he graduated high school. He joined the U.S. Navy, where he not only served his country, but earned a bachelor's degree in history just for fun. So, also a little nerd boy, but I love him very much. Kyle left the Navy, being named Sailor of the Quarter twice. And then finally, as he left, he was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Navy. A very proud moment for me. He then enrolled in the Maritime Academy, where he earned another bachelor's degree. That year, Kyle was also honored with the award of Cadet of the Year. He graduated top in his class. His name is forever and always.
Well done, man.
The officer, I'm almost done, sorry. The officer, Lieutenant Kyle Adam Hilden, continues to serve his country in the reserves, and he continues to make his mom very proud of all of it he's done. I remember when he came to me to tell me that he was leaving once again. He volunteered to go back to active duty in a place far, far away called Bahrain. And I cried and begged him not to leave. I didn't want him to leave, but I had to accept that God had a plan for his life. And although we didn't know it at the time, his future wife would be there waiting for him. Going to Bahrain turned out to be the best decision of his life. FALONE, we are so thrilled to welcome you into our family. You are brave, loving, strong, intelligent, and selfless woman. We couldn't imagine anyone more perfect for Kyle. Seeing you both braving this world together, I know that you will be able to handle any challenges that you're faced with. Keep God at the center of your marriage. Always put one another first, and remember, your Mama Sherry will always be here for you both, even if it is halfway around the world. Thank you.
It'll be plagiarism, I'm pretty sure. But I guess just to give you a little background on how Kyle, 12 years ago, was the first time I met him. And I thought, oh, this is a great guy. And a few years later, he came home, got out of the Navy, went to the Maritime Academy, and I actually got to know him. And I was right. He is a great guy. The fact that we're both Navy brothers probably has something to do with the connection, but just a very impressive individual. I would make a shout out to FALONE's mom, Sylvie, for all of the preparation you did. You went above and beyond, without a doubt. You spent a lot of hours putting all of this together, and it's greatly appreciated. Oh, home with FALONE last year for Kayla's wedding. They came back to the States, and we got to meet FALONE for the first time. And I think both of us agreed that she was a wonderful woman and the right fit for you. And you're also very beautiful today. Oh. And I guess that's really all I have to say.
All right, if you remember the other day I had to give a speech and I had no idea, and here we are, the remix. So I'm Kyle's sister, Kayla, and I'm Autumn, the other sister. And we just want to keep this short and sweet so we can eat. But getting to be a part of this entire family. And we have really enjoyed being FALONE's sister over the last couple of years. And we are so thankful for you, FALONE, for always loving us and always talking to us and always being there. And we are just so excited for your guys' life together.
Kayla said it all. I love you guys so much. And I miss you all the time, and I'm just happy to be here with you now. No more speeches.
Thank you very much. For some reason, that just felt like a movie we were watching, a Hollywood movie, with the accent and all. But we're going to move straight over to our main meal. I know everybody's starving, so the main meal is ready.